Good morning, live weather blog meteorologist Bob Acanfrio here with today's tropical update for Thursday, July 29th, 2010. Tropics still quiet today. Taking a look at the big picture here, we have a upper level low here in the western Caribbean, not going to develop tropically. We have a tropical wave right here in the central Caribbean. This will be interacting with this upper level low, so don't expect any development here. A lot of high wind shear right now through most of the Caribbean here. Tropical wave here approaching the Leeward Islands today. We see a little blow up of convection near it. Not going to develop anytime soon though. We have still a lot of high shear right here through the Caribbean, so this thing's going to get sheared apart once it gets into the Caribbean. We will have to watch this tropical wave as it gets into the central and western Caribbean. Conditions could get a little more favorable towards the weekend and early next week out in here. So we'll have to watch this as it moves west. But right now, nothing happening there. We'll bring some showery weather to the Leeward and Windward Islands the next couple days. Still watching our old frontal boundary hanging off the southeast coast into the western Atlantic here. Still have to watch it. Nothing developing on it yet, and none of the models are really predicting anything out here. But again, every time you get these fronts in this area, you always want to watch for development. And we see that other little system here kind of attached to the ITCZ coming into our picture here. And still a nice blow up of convection. I'll show you on the other Eastern Atlantic view in a moment here how that looks. And again, here's our water vapor imagery. You see here's that big upper level low in the Western Caribbean. So this is all not conducive for development in this area here. There's our tropical wave. Still a lot of dry air here in the central Atlantic. Starting to lift north a little bit, but still hanging pretty tough in here. Things have moistened up a little bit out in here, so that's why we'll have to watch this system out here the next 3 to 5 days and see what it decides to do. And here's out in the eastern Atlantic, and there's that little area of convection here. Nothing really going on with it. It's kind of attached to the ITCZ. We actually have a tropical wave out here moving off the African coast. So we'll have to watch this entire area here. I'll show you the models in a minute. Nobody's really that excited over developing this system, and I'll show you why. But again, something to watch for the next 5 days, see what happens there. Here's our shear map here, and we'll show you here the shear going on. There's that upper level low in the Western Caribbean. You see all this shear in the Caribbean right now. That's why when this tropical wave moves westward, it's going to run into a lot of this higher shear. Shear value is starting to get a little better, and you can see this is why we're going to start getting into the meat of the season soon. Shear has dropped off considerably out in the main development region out in here. So again, this is the beginning of signs of things that'll start to heat up in the next couple weeks. All right, let's look over to our models now. This is the Canadian model here, and you can see, and this is valid for Saturday. And you can see it tries to develop that system out here in the central Atlantic. So we'll see what happens there. That's just one model run here with the Canadian. And here's the UK Met model. Now this is why it's going to be really hard to get anything developing here even into next week. We see the Azore Bermuda High really building strong again. It's going to take another big push to the southwest here. So what's going to happen here, if anything does try to develop here, a lot of that stable air is just going to get shunted south again. And they'll probably close off development again here next week. So I don't really see anything. We might try to get one to sneak. You see the UK Met here trying to get a system going, but later on it kind of loses it. So this is valid for Monday. Again, I really don't see anything developing here early to mid next week. It's still going to be kind of tough. And then here's the Euro model. Same time period. You can see strong Azore High just building south. And it doesn't really have anything going on here. Tries to develop this a little bit, but then loses it again. So again, I don't see much developing out here the next week or two. Second week of August, that's when things may really start to heat up out here. And just visiting our friend the MJO today, you could see here it is, still in octant 3 here. We want to see it in octant 8, 1, or 2 for favorable development for the tropical Atlantic. Some of the models still want to start bringing it back to us in a couple weeks, so we'll have to see what happens there. 3 is not favorable for development, and we've seen that now in the last week, and it looks like the next week or two it's still going to be sitting in here. So again, we'll see what happens with the MJO and see, and maybe by the second week of August things will start to heat up. That's it for today, folks. Again, visit liveweatherblogs.com for all your latest on severe weather today and anything else happening across the United States. I will have another update tomorrow morning. Have a good day. Bye-bye.